Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, I want to share something with you, and I try to do this. I try to tell you the stories that happened to me. But I want to tell you about a day that I had on the Grass River. And I can't really tell you what made it so special, but I became almost in a state of nirvana. It was so wonderful. And no, I didn't catch a whole lot of fish. And no, I didn't catch any monsters. But I felt in this day, it was one of the greatest days I'd ever had on the water. And I'm trying to explain why, because fishing is something that does something for me that nothing else does. It really has always been that part of my life that I think is the most personal, the most special. And on this day it was. I just felt a part of everything around me. The winds were low, so I could see everything. I could watch my line. I could see any little twitch that took place. I could feel anything. The fish that came out of the water seemed to jump higher that day. They probably didn't, but it seemed that way for me. And I kept thinking, I no longer am thinking of time. I'm no longer thinking of minutes ticking away and life ticking away. I was immersed into that moment, and it was a long moment. It was hours of just pure surrender is the best way to put it. And I wanted to be able to tell you about it because it's something that you always want to happen. You always want those times when you can get out and do something that's very special for yourself to be as rewarding as you imagine it to be. This was even more so. I watched eagles fly above. I could hear sounds that sounded like there was osprey still around. Even the blue herons and the other cranes that came and went, the geese that were flying over my head, the sounds I heard in the bushes along shore. I thought, is that a deer that I hear? It seems heavy as it's walking, but I never saw it. But it's a part of what fishing can be. And yeah, I did catch some nice bass. And no, I didn't catch any walleyes. And let me tell you one part of it that I think was so amazing. I'm moving very slowly. I try not to make any commotion because I'm absolutely positive that fish are aware of every single thing that comes into their environment. They know every rock that's part of their life there. And I was standing in the water, probably up above my thighs, maybe waist deep. I have waders on. And I noticed there was a rock right in front of me with some slimy weeds or something around it, and it seemed like there might be a fallen log underneath all that. So I'm bringing my little crayfish imitator in, and I'm letting its legs bubble along the surface. And there, just 3 or 4 feet in front of me, all of a sudden, this head comes out of the water, menacing eyes, sharp, sharp teeth, and it grabs that kraken, that lure that I'm using, in one gulp and severs my line, and its head goes back down into the water. And I thought, holy cow, that muskie was laying just feet from me, waiting for something, and it hit it. So then I look forward in the water, and about 8 feet away, there's another little patch of weeds and a rock. And so I thought, I wonder. I cast over by that rock, and sure enough, up came another muskie, gobbled my lure, and this time I didn't try to set the hook. I let it move, and I thought, okay, I raised the rod, the fish came to the surface, and my line parted again. I'm using fluorocarbon, and I'm not fishing for muskies. I'm fishing for bass, and their teeth are so sharp that if they get it in their mouth just right, your lure's gone. They're going to cut your line every time. But it didn't matter. I'm thinking, holy cow. Those fish are right around me in this water, and I wasn't even aware of it. And I'm thinking, how much more is like this around me? What is really down there? The things that I don't see. In this, I will end this report by telling you that this is why I love wading. You couldn't have these experiences with a canoe or a kayak because you can't stay in one spot for maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes like I can do. And I can sort of survey every single rock, point, everything in the water. I feel a part of it. I'm living in their environment at that time. And it was one of the most rewarding days for me. And that was just one of the many highlights. The following day I went out, nothing the same. No muskies appeared, no bass. It was just another day in the life of the Grass River, but at least I was there again. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.